Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. Well, students, in the previous session, we learned the different ways of classifying a verb. We learned that there are three different ways in which we classify a verb. These are transitive verb and intransitive verb as per uses, helping verb and main verb as their meaning, and finite and non-finite verb as per the forms. We discussed in detail about transitive and intransitive verb in the previous session. Today we will be beginning with the rest two, which are on the basis of meaning and on the basis of forms. Let's start with the second classification, which says a verb may be classified into main verb and helping verb as per its meaning. Let us try to understand main verb at first. A main verb in a sentence is the verb that has the meaning, the actual meaning of the verb. It expresses the meaning such as action, possession, or state of being. We can understand it in a clear way through the following examples. Let's try to understand the examples so that we may have a clear understanding of the concept of main verb. The first sentence is he goes to school on foot. You can see goes is a verb here. Now, you can see goes describe action also. So, it's very clear which kind of verb is it. It's a main verb because it describes action, it has some meaning. In the next sentence, they are friends. Here also, are is the verb, but is it a main verb? Yes, of course, it's a main verb because it describes the state of the person. They are friends means they are friends at the present time. It describes the state of those persons relationship. It describes the state of their relationship at the present time. She has a nice dress. Here also has is the verb. Is it a main verb? Yes, it is, because has describes the ownership or possession. That's why it's a main verb. So, in short, we can say that a main verb is the verb that has some meaning. Now, let us try to understand the helping verb. A helping verb is a verb which doesn't have any meaning in the sentence. It cannot be used independently. It is always dependent on the main verb. If there is a main verb, only then the helping verb will be used. It is never helping verbs are never used without main verb. There is there is a very simple way of identifying main verb and helping verb. If there is only one verb in a sentence, that will always be a main verb. And if there are two verbs in a sentence or more than two verbs, you need to find out the main verb first so that you can find out the action verb. If you find the action verb, that will be your main verb, and the rest all will be your helping verb. A helping verb may be one or more than one in a sentence, but the main verb is always only one in a sentence. I hope it's now very clear to you about helping verb and main verb. Let's sum it up once again in short. Main verb has meaning, helping verb doesn't have meaning. Helping verbs are never used alone in a sentence. It always comes with a main verb. If there is only one verb in a sentence, it means that is the main verb. One sentence has only one main verb. Helping verb may be used one or more than one in a sentence. Now, let us try to understand all these through the following examples. The first sentence, they are running here and there. You can see there are two verbs here, are and running, in which running is describing an action, and that is why it's a main verb. Are doesn't have any meaning. That is why it is a helping verb, and it is helping the main verb to describe the time. Are describes present time. I have completed my work. You can see completed describes an action, and that is why it is a main verb, but have is a helping verb because it is just helping the main verb to describe the time and forming the correct tense. Similarly, in the further sentences, the verbs highlighted in red color are main verbs, and the verbs highlighted in green color are helping verbs. You can see in all the sentences there is only one main verb, but you can see some of the sentences have more than one helping verbs. I hope the concept of main verb and helping verb is very clear to you now, and you will be able to identify the main verb and the helping verb in the sentences. Let us move now to the next classification of verbs. The next classification of verb is based on the forms of verb. You must have used a verb in different forms. All the different forms are categorized in two classes, which are finite and non-finite verbs. In the junior classes, in the previous classes, you may have learned that a verb has 5 forms, which you say V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Actually, these are not the standard names of the different forms. This is just a representation to make you understand. In now you are in higher classes, so you need to learn what their actual names are. Actually, a verb has a number of forms. Starts with the different forms of a verb may be base form, present form, past form, present participle form, past participle form, and infinitive form. These are the 6 forms of verbs. Now we will learn which are the forms are kept under finite verb and which are the forms kept under non-finite verbs. So present form and past form are kept under finite verb, and the rest forms are kept under non-finite verb. Now let's try to understand what finite verb means. It says the verbs that change forms with the change of subjects and tense are called finite verbs. It's very simple to understand, and it will be more clear when we will discuss the example. You can see the first example. Sam studies at Notre Dame Academy. Here the subject is Sam and the verb is studies. Here we are not talking about the main verb and the helping verb and the transitive and intransitive. Here we are only talking about finite and non-finite verb. So studies is the verb and Sam is the verb. Sam is the subject. In the next sentence, you can see they study at Notre Dame Academy. The subject has changed. From Sam, we change the subject to they. And you can see the verb also has changed its form. The verb is same, but the form has changed. It has become study from studies. So you are seeing the change in the form, and that is why it is called finite verb. In the next sentence, you can see Sam studied at Notre Dame Academy last year. You can see the subject is again the same, Sam, Sam, but again the verb has changed. It's not the verb has changed, but its form has changed. Why? Because the tense has changed. We are writing now in past, so the form has changed. So it is a finite verb. Similarly, in the further sentences, you will find that is changing into are is changing into was. These are all the same verb. The base form of is, are, was, were, am is be. These are the forms of verb be, but they are changing it's changing its form because the subject is changing or the tense is changing, and that is why these all are finite verbs. Unlike a finite verb, non-finite verb don't change their form. Non-finite verbs don't change their forms. They are independent from subject and tense. They always remain in the same form. Even the subject is changing or the tense is changing, it does not matter for non-finite verbs. Let us try to understand through the example. He has to do much work. They have to do much work. They had to do much work. You can see in each of the sentences there are two pair of verbs used. The first sentence has and to do. Second, have and to do. And third, had and to do. You can see the verbs in red color have changed their forms, but the verbs in green color have not changed their forms. So all those verbs which have not changed their forms are non-finite verbs, and the verbs which have changed their forms are finite verbs. Here students, you need to remember that since finite verbs helps to form the correct tense, it is necessary to have a finite verb to form a sentence. Without finite verb, we cannot make a sentence. But it's not about the non-finite verb. A sentence may have a non-finite verb or may not have a non-finite verb. As you can see in this slide, all these verbs are finite and the sentences are complete. So a sentence may have a finite verb, sorry, a sentence may have a non-finite verb or may not have a non-finite verb, but a sentence must have finite verb. Without a finite verb, we cannot make a sentence. So that is all about finite and non-finite verbs, students. I hope it's clear to you, the main verb and helping verb and finite and non-finite verbs. And you will be able to recognize them, identify them in the sentences, and you will be able to use them as well. Thank you, students. That is it for the day.